Bam. The late adopter. Hi guys, how you doing? Welcome to the Bitcoin Daily every day, Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. Central European Time on the dollar. We do this show because we gotta know. We gotta know what's gonna happen with Bitcoin, what's gonna happen with our altcoins, and you know what's happening in market in general. So we're gonna talk about it. The coffee is on the table. The Bitcoin did pump above the certain resistances. We got a bullish engulfing candle. We got all the good stuff, double button, falling wedge breakout, all the good stuff. The question is, where is the continuation right now? Why are we not pumping another 5 to 10% right now towards the upside, right? If we are so bullish. There is that. How's everybody in the chat doing right now? Batch guitar, let's go. Christo is in the chat first, actually second, morning batch, and everyone else. Keith Hammond is here, long time no see, man. How you doing? Pump or bearish? We are a little bit bullish, I think. Martin Hedge is in the chat, morning all. Skoda, pump it, Christo. If Bits can hold above 36,000 until May, I'm hopeful for Supermoon June. I'm hopeful for Supermoon June either way, man. Once Supermoon June and July comes, I mean, if that isn't the bottom, I don't know what's gonna be that. If US stock market gets continuation, it's go time. Yeah, that might be it, but right now, you'll see that on the futures, we are a little bit down. We're a little bit down. Not financial advice. Get your moon's boots on. XRP legend. I just bought wave 10 minutes back. What do you guys reckon? I reckon you bought some kind of top. I haven't checked the waves, but I know it pumped yesterday big time. 7% today. It just keeps on pumping. This thing just keeps on pumping. You see the trend line up here. This on the 4 hourly, on the daily. Yeah. So a few minutes ago, yeah, you bought the resistance here at the 10 moving average. So there is that. Let's see 10 moving average. Where were we 10 months ago? It's 5. Yeah, we are somewhere up here, right? And if you go to the daily time frame, you'll see that's almost where the resistance is here at 10 moving average. So yeah, you bought the resistance. So hopefully it's gonna play out for you and you're gonna break the resistance and go to the moon. But you kind of FOMO'd into that one. You gotta admit that, man. You kind of FOMO'd into the waves. Smash the like button. XRP says, still feels like we are ranging. Yeah, it does feel a little bit of that, so we're gonna check out what's up. I think right now entire market is having a pullback. I'm looking right now on my watch list up here, and there are not many coins that are actually in green. Most are in red, but this can change very quickly because it's just like 1% up, 1% down, something like that. So it can change, in one 5-minute candle. This can actually change to be full green. Can we look at XRP, please? Maybe in a second. Yeah, maybe we can start with XRP. Just look at it, quickly up here. It broke the resistance up here. This is the short-term resistance, short-term trend up here. Of course, it's hitting something down here. I don't remember which line this is. Let's go to the weekly time frame. Yeah, okay. This is the new line that I drew. I was trying to find why it's gonna stop here. But I was looking yesterday, somebody asked me in the Telegram chat, where is the next resistance? I'm thinking up here around 68, 69. Right now that's at around 68 down here at 20 moving average. That should be pretty doable to come up there. Whether we are gonna do that or not, not quite sure about that. But we did, break this downtrend over here towards the upside a little bit after hitting some kind of support at 58, 60. It don't look amazing, bro. It doesn't look amazing. Is this a bull trap? Bull trap is only confirmed until it actually, is a bull trap. It's very hard to say whether something is a bull trap or not until it actually happens. We lie, man, we lie. Any chance you can have a look at our ramp? Nah, not quite sure about that. That said, let's go and see what's happening in the Bitcoin world right now. Bitcoin is down minus 0.39%. As you can see here, yesterday we had a nice pump. And this is actually a legitimately good candle, guys. This is a legitimately good candle. And the pullback down here is normal pullback, so we're going to talk about that. So you can see here that this candle up here, this is bullish engulfing candle. It's the, engulfs totally this candle over here. So we got a bullish engulfing candle above the 10 and 20 moving average close up here. Very, very nice. I'm wondering up here, but we did not make a higher high. So we still got low high, lower high, lower high. So we still didn't break the high up here. We did get above certain resistances, and we got bullish engulfing candle. We got some kind of double bottom down here at the bottom here as well. You know, everything looks very nice. We are also breaking the resistance. I'm gonna show you right here on the trend line. And we are breaking the trend, changing the trend, breaking the trend, call however you want to call it. This can be, you know, drawn several ways, but you know, any kind of way you draw this, you know, we are all still above it. There is one way, maybe up here. Nope. There is this one. This one line is not being broken, but every other line is. I think. Maybe up here somewhere. This isn't broken either, but you can see here that we are right now hitting that resistance right now. Maybe this line is a little bit legit up here. This on the weekly time frame right now. You can see down here. How we put it, this is the weekly short-term downtrend up here right now that we are trying to break towards the upside. But on daily time frame, it does look like we just hit the resistance up there. But every other way that you can draw this, it is being broken over here. So this falling wedge right now that we had on the chart did break out towards the upside. The question is this you know, some kind of bull trap? And you can see here we did break out a little bit. We are pulling back a little bit, but you know, we need to assume that this is going to continue towards the upside, and you know, we're going to flow with that so far, right? Even though this last line might indicate that there is definitely some kind of resistance up here, but you know, whether that's a resistance from these two pivot points up here, or that's a resistance because of this you know, resistance line up here, you know, that depends to be seen. But we did, you know, manage to break certain levels. We managed to break, you know, 10-20 moving average up here. You can see 10 and 20 moving average up here, the white line and red line, those are broken towards the upside. The pullback is on the dollar. You can see the pullback down here. This pullback on this 20 moving average is on the dollar so far. So we are not we are not pulling down that much. We are not just dropping straight back down again. You know, if that happens, you know, that could be a little bit worrisome. But you know, right now it is a normal, you know, slight pullback after how much did we pump yesterday from the open to close? 5.2% towards the upside. Now it was a big candle, and the pullbacks are perfectly normal and fine. And so far so good, right? But we are outside of this falling wedge. That's nice. We are hitting resistance, and we still got these lower highs up here, and there is, you know, there is still no reason to, you know, bring out the bull flag, you know, and go and marching in, you know, into thinking we're gonna hit some kind of 100k yet. There is still a lot of resistance on the way towards the upside. But over here, you know, the question is, will this actually, you know, break the resistance? So I would right now say that this 39,742, give or take, this is on Binance right now. This level up here, I would say that this is one of the most important levels right now to break, because if you can make you know, continuation towards the upside here, we get you know, we get higher high up here, right? This is some kind of high, and then we get a higher high up here. Sorry, not high, and then we get a higher up here, which would indicate trend. Down on the bottom we already have low and higher low, which indicates trend change. So you know, all so far good, but you know, we still need to climb a little bit more towards the upside. Now let's see what's happening up here, and you'll see that we are having a big huge ass divergence on the chart. So over here the price is technically going towards downside, while the RSI is going towards the upside. So this should technically pull back. But if we can continue just pumping towards the upside, this will actually correct itself. But right now it's not correcting itself, and if we fail to break 39.7, I would expect some kind of pullback on the downside. That will of course mean that all of our altcoins are gonna bleed a little bit and have a pullback back to the downside. Now let's go into also big stuff happening on the MACD right now. On the daily time frame, we are getting this bullish cross right now on the daily time frame after this big major move towards the upside, which is actually quite bullish. But as we just saw, we are at resistance. We need to make some kind of new highs. We need to, you know, still to push a little bit more, you know, and you know, there is RSI divergence on the daily. On the weekly time frame, the MACD does indeed starting to look not all that bad yet. I mean, there is still 3 days left. There's still 3 days left and 70 minutes. But if you can continue pushing a little bit more towards the upside, you can see here how we had a bullish cross up here and then, you know, bearish cross right after that. So we are, you know, doing right now, you know, zigzag up here, trying to figure out which direction this is gonna go. But this can definitely, you know, continue going towards the upside again right over here, right? So we don't actually have that much on the we don't have that much on the weekly MACD, but you know, this can definitely, we are not, you know, in some kind of, you know, steep downtrend or anything like that. It's just trying to figure out whether we are gonna go towards the upside or downside. Also the RSI is sitting some kind of very nice 44 level. There is no divergence or anything like that on the indicators, so it looks all good and dandy. As you can see here, there is good chance now. Again, still 3 days and 17 hours left for this daily close, and we still need to, you know, close above where we are right now. This is 39,450. So if we want to get a bullish engulfing candle on the weekly time frame, which could be very bullish for Bitcoin price, we need to get above 39,450 up here. So we're gonna see if that's gonna happen. Still 3 hours and 17 hours left, 3 days and 17 hours left for that. So I don't think we're gonna talk about too much about, you know, bullish engulfing candles on the weekly time frame. And as you can see on the upside up here, we got a huge amount of resistance right now. We got a 10-20 moving average up here, we got a 50 moving average up here, we got this major resistance up here at 42,380, so forth, so forth. So there is a whole bunch of levels that we need to break towards the upside before we can actually, you know, call ourselves bullish. But you know, good thing is good, we get a higher lows and we get a higher highs, you know, so far so good. But again, we have a nice move towards the upside. Unfortunately, we are still below certain levels. Now let's go back in the small time frame and see if this pullback will actually break on the downside or towards the upside. And the way we're gonna do that, we're gonna try to, you know, see how we are breaking the trend lines. We already broken one important trend line. I'm gonna show you. Let's go back down to the 4-hourly time frame, and you can see this move happening over here. Let's just remove all other lines, so they are not, you know, problematic for us. This move up here, that's what we had after the, you know, FOMC yesterday. After we had a FOMC yesterday, and you can see that very nicely we managed to climb above the moving averages up here. We pumped up, you know, we are still above this 100 moving average. We are pulling a little bit back here. This is a normal pullback because these moving averages are a little bit, you know, lagging behind, so we need to consolidate here before we actually can see some kind of continuation. And so this move that's happening right now, the pullback is perfectly, you know, normal, is perfectly nice, so there is no problem with that. There are two trend lines up here on the chart. I'm gonna show you. Let me just remove everything from the charts right now. The first one, the way I was looking at it, is this one up here, give or take, and you can see that this trend line, this on 1-hourly trend line, this 1-hourly trend line got broken towards downside. So this, you know, very steep, very fast move after going sideways up here, consolidating, figure out, nope, we are not breaking that right now. So it did break on the downside. It doesn't have to mean that much, but you know, if you continue breaking these trend lines, these rising trend lines up here, there is also the 4-hourly trend line that goes something like this up here. If we keep on, you know, right now breaking these trend lines towards downside, we might see, you know, continuation of the, you know, bearishness. The best case scenario would have, of course, been, you know, just over here, just to continue pumping towards the upside up here, but you know, that would be very steep, very fast move. So it is very normal to have some kind of pullback up here on the largest time frame, like 4-hourly, and then continue pumping later on. So we're gonna see how that actually is gonna play out. Now on the 4-hourly time frame, you can see that this line up here is not that significant. The more significant line is somewhere down here. This is the trend right now. This is the trend on the 4-hourly time frame, and the 4-hourly time frame is still not broken. It's still intact, and as long as it is intact, this can definitely continue just over here pumping towards upside. You know, maybe not as fast as yesterday, but you know, it can definitely continue pumping towards upside, breaking the resistances and so forth. So nothing is, you know, right now done. You can also see up here, let me see on moving average, that right now this 200 moving average and the resistance are coming at the same place. The question is, will we break this resistance and pull back to these moving averages, or consolidate up here and then continue pumping, or are we that bullish that we are just gonna hit the the trend line and then bounce you know, towards upside, maybe above the 200 moving average up here around 41 to 46,000 levels, and then continue, or you know, retest the very important level up here at 41.5. There is a big resistance there, so we're gonna see that. But right now, the pullback that's happening right now, this consolidation pattern up here, is perfectly normal. You can also see that this 4-hourly time frame is hitting this 20 moving average up here, but we need to see how this actually develops a little bit more to actually know whether we are going to continue towards the upside or the downside. I mean, we can speculate, you know, how bullish or bearish we are, but there is nothing on the charts right now that says you know, that we are not overextended towards the upside. We did pump a little bit, but there are no overextensions, so we are not having, you know, this impulsive pullback or something like that. That's normal when you get overextensions, and we haven't, you know, been rallying for a long periods of time where we are hitting some kind of major resistance that the pullback is needed. So the way I see it, if we are bullish, what should happen on the charts is that we are going to have a slight, you know, consolidation phase, maybe a slight pullback, and then continue going towards upside to around some kind of 41,500 level, where there should be some kind of resistance. Because, you know, it is, if you are any kind of bullishness, you know, you should pump a little bit more, because we haven't pumped. We pumped 5%, guys. We pumped 5. You should pump more, you know. And on the other hand, if we fail to do that, that's a bearish signal. That's, you know, very, very bad. If we start breaking the trends up here slowly, that's fine. But if we see on the 4-hourly that we are breaking right now below, back below 38,735, give or take, below these moving averages down here. If we start breaking below these moving averages here on the 4-hourly time frame, guys, the new moon is playing out. You know, the new moon is playing out. So if we don't want to get below 38.7, that would be bad. But, you know, overall Bitcoin is just doing, you know, what Bitcoin is doing. So it's not that problematic, right? It's just a small slight pullback. I see also, you know, altcoins having slight pullbacks. Some altcoins are pumping like crazy still, you know, on the daily time frame. You can see here right now, Glamour didn't pump yesterday, but it is pumping today. No, sorry, it's not pumping today. This is on Huobi. Never use Huobi charts, guys. Never use Huobi charts, because Huobi charts, you know, they have very different type of daily closes. On Huobi, the daily close is in 8 hours and 28 minutes, you know, and on everything else, the daily close is in 16 hours and 28 minutes. So, you know, the difference is between 8 hours on the daily close. So that's why we're seeing, for example, that Huobi, Glimmer on Huobi right now is looks like on the daily it's, you know, 12% up, but it's not. It's not. So let me see, do we have anything else that's right now pumping big time over here on my chart? No, nothing. I mean, something is up like 5%. This is 6% up. Venus 6% up right now on the daily time frame. No volume whatsoever. XTZ Tezos is up 5%. But yeah, not everything is in either red a little bit and or a little bit green, but not much. ApeCoin is up. ApeCoin is up 7.51%, and it's still continuing towards upside. There's too many lines on the chart, but you know, we've been following this from at least I've been following this from after this pump up here. Down here I was actually thinking it was very good buy, and then it pumped like 20%. It had a nice pullback, and you can see it's slowly climbing towards the upside. So ApeCoin is definitely doing very nicely right now. No divergence or anything bullish. The momentum is kind of going a little bit down, but this looks like, you know, it's just going up to the resistance up here slowly. So it might have a nice continuation towards the upside, but you know, you missed a very, very nice buy down here. There is that. Waves is also continuing to have some kind of 8% move towards the upside, but it's hitting this major resistance at 20 moving average on the daily time frame. Always 20 moving average on the daily time frame is important level to watch for right now, especially this 50 as well. You can see the 50 up here. I mean, once you break that, you're bullish. Once you get above this level, you're bullish, but right now that level is pretty high up there. Beside that, not much is happening on the chart. Everything else is pulling down a little bit. Ethereum is also doing the same thing as Bitcoin. Let's clean up all and see how Ethereum did over here. Ethereum also managed to break the levels, you know, there's some kind of trend towards the downside, maybe some kind of a, you know, V-shaped bottom or double shaped bottom or any kind of bottom. There was some kind of bottom down here that actually managed to hold. It did pump above the 20 moving average as well up here very nicely, and it did managed to do what Bitcoin didn't do, create a higher high. So if Ethereum right now is some kind of leading indicator for Bitcoin, it just might be that we are very, very bullish on Bitcoin, because Bitcoin did not make create a higher high, but Ethereum did. So, you know, Ethereum does look strongly bullish right now, bullish engulfing candle above the resistance, above 10, 20 and 100 moving average as well, and it is creating a higher high right now. So all good and dandy. Let's see down here. There is no divergence as well. Let's go to 2-day time frame up here. Yeah, no divergence whatsoever. This is turning towards the upside. It does look strongly bullish. It does look like this is some kind of a V-shaped pattern. Now there is the same problem. I think there is the same problem as Bitcoin. Let's double check up here. Let's double check up here. Maybe there is the same problem on the charts. No, there is no problem up here whatsoever. This actually broke literally everything towards the upside. You can see here, broke that, everything is broken. 10 moving, 20 moving average up, broken. 50 is not, 50 is far up, but 100 moving average is broken, and 2. So 200 moving average and 50 moving average is not yet broken, but you know, a lot of trend lines have been broken towards the upside. This looks strongly bullish right now. So if we can avoid, you know, straight, you know, pull back inside, you know, everything, I think this just might have a very nice, you know, continuation towards the upside. So there is no problem with Ethereum. Now the Bitcoin, there is a slight problem with, you know, the you know, reading the bullishness, but if Ethereum is any kind of leading indicator, this might just play out, right? Ape pumped after Musk tweet. Yes, that's what everybody is saying, guys. I know that, you know, Elon Musk changed his you know, his image on Twitter and stuff like that, but guys, I've been watching ApeCoin, and I've been, you know, I haven't said much about it, but you know, I've been watching it and wanted to trade it. And down here I was looking at it because it was ready, sorry, up here it was ready for the pump. I mean, there is this very nice trend line up here. There is this very nice trend line up here that we actually broke. You see the, you know, the downtrend down here, you know, these are actually not on the dollar, but these are on the dollar. You know, we broke this downtrend down here. First we tried to break this one up here, but you know, this one was very significant, and we broke that, and I was thinking, oh man, this is gonna pump, right? And it pumped 20% without me actually knowing anything about Elon and what he did post, but I was kind of expecting. So I have this, you know, and oftentimes these things happen on very critical levels. Elon, you often, you know, knows when to post stuff. I don't know how he knows, but I'm thinking a little birdie somewhere in the sky is telling him, you know, post now, say this, say that. I don't know how he knows, but he knows exactly the right moment when to post, guys. It's not like we are going towards downside, suddenly he posts and then we, you know, skyrocket towards that. No, he posts right after the breakout. Now let's look a little bit on what's happening on DXY. And as you can see here on the DXY, we had a big down movement towards downside over here. So there have been a couple of trend lines up here that we have been broken steadily up here. The big trend up here towards 103, where we call the top, broke on downside. The trend broke on downside. We tried, you know, holding the secondary trend. Now the secondary trend broke to the downside as well. This was the third trend. The third trend broke down. We fell down. We fell down below the support down here at what's that, at 102 right now. You can see here we had a nice pullback towards 102 right now, and that's fine and dandy. So if these levels keeps on getting rejected, we should see Bitcoin rally towards the upside, guys. We should see Bitcoin rally towards the upside, because after this actually happened, after the breakout happened towards the upside, I'm still looking at some kind of 100 level down here for DXY. You can also see on the daily time frame why that is because this trend up here is still intact, and we might, you know, pull back all the way down. There is this one line that goes from the bottom here to down here, there around 20 moving average up here, so that's around 101, 102 give or take. down here, which might act as a resistance. I'm not quite sure about that, but we'll see. I think this bottom trend line is more legit than this one, but you know, it can also act as a support, so not a resistance, like a support. Anyways, either way, I think that DXY right now is in a pullback modus right now, especially if this 4-hourly keeps on getting rejected up here on the 102, 103 levels up here, right? 102.96. If it gets getting rejected by that level, I think we should see more down movement on DXY. That would be very good for price of Bitcoin. The same thing with the stock market. This is Dow Jones. Dow Jones made a higher high up here. See, high. This is higher high, which is very good, but it hit resistance on the 20 moving average. Let's see the there is no divergence up here. This is curling towards the upside. So the daily time frame, it does seem to manage to create higher high, but it did hit major resistance and stop there. It is above this level as well. Yes, it is. It's above there. There are a lot of trend lines up here. Let's go to the weekly time frame. Weekly, still one day and 14 hours left, so still 2 days left of trading on the weekly time frame up here. But you can see here that we are hitting just these major resistance towards the upside. We haven't actually done this or anything like that, or gotten above certain very important levels to call us as sells bullish, but it is nice move towards the upside. The same thing goes for S&P 500. S&P 500 also managed to create a higher high up here, higher high, and everything looks nice and dandy. Everything looks nice and dandy. It is above the 10 moving average. Let me see. Yeah, so we managed to get above the 10 moving average, but this 20 moving average is still way out of reach right now. So we need to see how this actually plays out over a little while. But it can be that we are right now creating these double bottoms on S&P and Dow Jones as well. This is a little weird double bottom with some kind of huge wick on the downside, where we just blast towards the upside. But everything is a little bit shady still, guys. Everything is a little bit shady still. Hopefully, you can see on Bitcoin right now, this pullback is coming exactly on this 20 moving average. Let's see how this actually looks. You can see here that 20 moving average corresponds very nicely with 100 moving average and 4-hourly. So we are sitting on that support right now. And this 20 moving average is gonna come up here. So I'm expecting, by seeing what Ethereum is doing, what that DXY is gonna go down, I'm expecting this to actually be bullish and continue towards the upside. But it's a little bit hard to say. The most important thing that I'm looking at right now is still these moving averages on the 4-hourly time frame. So any kind of pullback down here, it's normal, but we lose these moving averages on the downside. I would say that's very bearish. So let me go a little bit more into very small time frames up here. This is a 30 minutes time frame. Let's see if we can find any kind of triangle, anything that conforms with our world view. I'm trying to see if there is any kind of pattern forming here, but I don't see it right now. It looks maybe it's a bull flag, guys. Maybe it's a bull flag right now being formed up here. I mean, we had a nice pump up here right now. We are creating this bull flag where we continue towards the upside. That'd be very nice, right? But the flag is kind of a lot longer than the pole, so I'm not quite sure about that. I don't know if that has anything to say for the price, but over here it does look like the pole is pretty legit towards the upside. Let's clear it up a little bit up here and see it maybe. I mean, this is actually very bullish. This is actually very. Let's just do it like this. Let's use the. So maybe it's a bull flag. Maybe it's a bull flag right now. We are coming to this support down here because we do seem to be bullish. We do seem to be bullish. Let's use the flag up here and let's extend towards the upside. And that comes to around something like 41,000, give or take, the breakout towards the upside, if this actually happens. But it does look like a bull flag, so this is actually quite bullish pattern, because I don't see any kind of triangle, any kind of oftentimes this movement would be if we are starting to go towards the upside, that would be actually very bearish, but this is actually quite bullish the way I see it. So this is on 1 hourly time frame. Looks nice, looks good. So I would say there is good probability right now to continue the move. The pullback is hitting important levels. You can see the 20 moving average, the pullback is normal, no problem whatsoever. So we'll see if we continue pumping today or not, and I think there is a good chance to continue pumping. DXY about to drop 0.406 today. Maybe it is, maybe it is. So I'm a little bit bullish today. I'm hoping this continuation from yesterday will continue towards the upside. I'm trying to disregard the new moon. I'm trying to disregard the new moon because, you know, I want to believe so strongly that we are gonna, you know, this is gonna pull us towards the downside, because, you know, moons has to happen. But if we right now, if we go against the moon up here, and just continue rallying towards the upside, and this moon fails, maybe it's just gonna show that we are very, very bullish, very bullish in the markets. Okay, guys, what do you say, guys? Let's go TLA stream. Lots of onion peels to get through. Yeah, lots of onion peels to get through. But, you know, that's the way of the, you know, that's the way of the TA analysis. You know, we always look for this. We didn't see capitulation as informed. We still didn't break 40k. There is huge block of 40, 42. We need to break. We think. Yeah, I agree. Like there is huge resistance around 41.5, 42 level that needs to be tested and broken through. But right now it does look like it has another leg towards the upside. So, you know, that's all good and dandy, right? To get to those levels. So, you know, right now we are sitting at 39,006. So we still got something like maybe 2,000 left to go towards the upside before we hit this major resistance level that we need to break. Whether we're gonna break them or not, that's the question. But right now it does look a little bit bullish. Like you saw what Ethereum is doing, you saw what the DXY is going towards the downside. So, you know, it's always always dedicated to chart. There's nothing else to do, man, in life. There's nothing else in life beside the charts. Ape pumped after Musk tweet that we talked about. Dobro jutro. Are we going to see ETH 2.0 this year? It's delayed a few months, but sound like it could be September, end of summer. Yeah, I don't know if we're gonna see ETH 2.0 because, you know, it's been postponed so much. So, you know, I have actually no clue. But the only thing I know is as soon as Ethereum fees comes down to 0.0 something, I think a lot of these other chains that only selling point is low fees is gonna go bankrupt. You have to understand that, you know, right now that Ethereum has a problem with fees, a lot of these other chains that have very, very low fees are seeing the light of day and the probability to get out, you know, to take some kind of market shares out in the market. But, and of course, even when Ethereum fees drop down, a lot of these chains will survive, but a lot of that, you know, only selling point is low fees, like it's done. So once, and you know, the big thing, everybody knows what the problem with Ethereum is, that's the fees. And but as soon as the fees is sold and they got plans in order, as soon as the fees is sold, Ethereum is gonna skyrocket, guys. Ethereum is gonna skyrocket. Mine it is done, so it could be happening. That's not successful, so that's a good sign. Within a year would be nice, even if it failed. 41.5 days. Why would I drop? I just checked the Oracle and she told me beats the 60k. By 23.6, not sure about that, but hope. DAR broke the trend to the downside on 1 hour. Let's check it out, because I've been noticing that DAR has been, you know, performing lately, and you can see here on the daily time frame it has been performing lately. It hit some kind of a major resistance up here. You can see the resistance up here. I've been looking at a little bit up here. You can see here it tried to break it up here and then pull back, but it only pulled back to the moving average. You can see here. So there was this this downtrend up here, something like this up here. You can see here there was this downtrend that broke towards the upside and pulled back to the downtrend. So right now it's climbing back up a little bit again, but there are a huge amount of trend lines up here that are very important. So this move towards downside can definitely come to, you know, some kind of a $1 again before it makes another try up here. Now if it breaks this trend line up here on downside, that's bad, but over here on what you say on the 1 hour and so forth, what it broke the trend, yeah, it definitely broke the trend on 1 hour, because 1 hour it's down here. So if you see this up 1 hourly trend up here, it didn't break it once, it broke it 2 times. I'm going to show you right now. I can see it already. You know, this was the first trend. So you can see here it, you know, went all the way down, create a pivot point, went up over here, and then broke the downside. Tried to get back up again, failed. Right now it's failing for the second time. The second time it fails right now, it's up here somewhere, give or take, right? and you can see here it tried to, you know, get back above the trend and failed on the downside as well. So the last line it needs to fail right now. It's down here. These moving averages around 133, and if it goes below 133, then we might see even lower levels up here. There is one trend line up here. Yeah, that's very nicely corresponding. Depends on how you draw it, of course, but it course. Let's pull it up here. Let's pull it up here because because it's corresponding very nicely with these moving averages, the 100 and 200 moving average on 1 hourly time frame. Let's see how this looks on the 4 hourly time frame. Yeah, it's in the ballpark area up there in this trend, where we might, you know, see some kind of movement. But let me see from the bottom down here. Yeah, so there are a couple of trend lines that needs to be broken on downside. It is having already, you know, meltdown on the 1 hourly, but 1 hourly is not really, you know, telltale sign for anything right now. I will be looking at the daily time frame. On the daily time frame, the trend goes something like this from the bottom up here, maybe down here somewhere, something like this. So we gotta go into a little bit small time frames up here, maybe 8 hours, just to see if you can draw the trend lines. Yeah, so this is the trend line up here. So this is the major trend line the way I see it, that needs to be broken. Maybe it's this one up here because these two pivot points. Yeah, it's probably this. Let's say 50 moving average. This is 8 hourly. Yeah, could be something like this because of the pivot point on the downside here. This looks like, you know, it was trying to hold some kind of level. This broke on downside, right back up again, you know, pivot point with pivot points up here. Major support level down here at the 20 moving average. That's around 180, you know, something like that. But this 133 line, so yeah, there are a couple of lines up here, 133 or this down here as well, you know. So if it starts breaking that on the downside, that's bad, you know, but everything else might be good. But it's pulling back a little bit. E2 will be huge. Interesting to see how it plays out. Yeah, interesting to see how it plays. But I think, you know, Ethereum is not going anywhere, guys. And if they can solve the problem with the fees, and Vitalik said, you know, the fee should be below 0.05. So if they can, you know, solve the fees problem, Ethereum is gonna be huge, guys. Ethereum is gonna be huge. It's gonna explode to, you know, extreme levels. There is nothing that you cannot build on Ethereum. It's so, you know, it's Amazon, man. It's Amazon. The question is when will they solve the fees? So you do not wanna, you know, wait, you know, until they solve the fees because the price will already be very high. You know, right now is the time. I was away for a few days. Are people buying Bitcoin already? I'm not quite sure, but you know, we might have a nice leg up towards upside very soon. TLI, time for crypto bubble. Yeah, let's check crypto bubble. What about Pulse Chain? What do you think about it? I'm invested in Pulse Chain, so you know, I cannot say anything about it because, you know, I'm not objectively, you know, allowed to talk about it, you know, but you know, I'm not quite sure that's gonna play out. Just say it right out. You know, Hex played out, but I knew Hex is gonna play out because Hex is like a, you know, Hex is made to make the price goes up. The Pulse Chain is made, I don't know if it's made, you know, I think it's made to double the money of everything, you know, Richard Hart owns. So we'll see about that. 2 more weeks. I don't know, man. I don't know. Okay, let's check out crypto bubble up here and see what's good on the crypto bubble, of course. So this daily right now everything is in green, but this is 24-hour, guys. This is 24-hour change, which is useless for us. What we want right now, it's maybe 1 hourly change and stuff like that. So X is up 2.6 in last hour. Zilka is down 3.4. Let's check Zilka because Zilka pumped yesterday like crazy, if I remember correctly. Yeah, so you know, it's having a slight pullback. Waves is having no pullback, but it did hit this major resistance here up at the top. And XC Infinity, because I heard that XC is a bad buy, guys. I heard XC is a bad buy because they still are pumping a lot of new coins into the game, from what I've heard. And on the chart, it does not, you know, it does look like it's just bleeding still towards downside. The pump is like so small, you know, compared to the dump. It is trying to climb moving average, but you can see this pump didn't even come to the 10 moving average. No other YouTuber will do this. I'm investing in this coin, so I don't want to talk about it. Besides, I don't think it's going anywhere. Yeah, I'm really bad. I had to, you know, I missed Hex. I'm sorry, I missed Hex, and I'm still, you know, salty about that, because I could buy Hex when it was, you know, it was so cheap, insanely cheap, and I was like, I didn't get to very bottom, so I was like, nah, I'm just gonna wait, see how this actually plays out. And you saw how that played out. So I'm not very, you know, optimistic about Pulse Chain as I was about Hex. But, you know, I had to buy, you know, I don't want to miss the second train. So, you know, if it goes up, it goes up. If it doesn't, you know, maybe I can get my money back, you know. So there is that. There is that. But that said, guys, Bitcoin might be in a bull flag up here. Might be in a bull flag. So might is a very strong word that we are using right now. Up here might be in a bull flag. So do watch how this plays out. So I'm looking at this 20 moving average down here on the 1 hourly time frame, so maybe for some kind of bounce. If that happens, the bull flag should go to some kind of 41,000. That means that, you know, from the bottom down here to 41,000, or it was 49, you know, we might see a nice move, 3.8% on Bitcoin. That means that altcoins might pump as well. Buy Pulse Doge, the meme about Richard. There is something called Pulse Doge. I wasn't even aware of that, man. I wasn't even aware of that. Pulse Doge, there you go. So yeah, we'll see how this actually plays out. Do watch the charts, guys, because if it breaks this resistance line at the top up here, it just might go, you know, another, you know, a couple of percent towards the upside. Now, you know, Bitcoin going up 2-3% is not that, you know, that problematic. The thing is, if Bitcoin goes up 3-4% towards the upside today, altcoins are gonna pump. Altcoins are, please check. There is nothing to check on Pulse Chain. Is in testnet right now, so whatever. It's not happening. Okay, guys, that's it for today. We've been streaming for 15 minutes. It was a long stream. I hope you enjoyed that. You know, come back tomorrow, same time, same place. We're gonna see what's happening on the charts again. Thanks you for watching. Hit the like button on the way out. Subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed. And that's about it. That's about it. I hope you all have a nice day. See ya tonight or tomorrow. Same time, same place. Bye-bye.